I don't accept that I am what I am and that is what I'm doomed to be. I'm always fighting, I'm struggling, and I'm scrapping, and I'm kicking and clawing at those weaknesses to change them, to stop them.
You don't have to settle for the life that you now have. There is more. But in order to have more, you gotta be hungry. Why, Les? Because things are stacked against you. The average person, it's rigged. It's the reason that only 1% control the wealth of the world for centuries. But there are few people that break through. And those who break through, you know why? You're like me, you gotta be hungry.
It is impossible that offenses should not come to you. Something someone is going to say is going to offend you. It's not possible to escape it. And since it's impossible to escape it, you got to learn how to deal with it. Because not being offended is unachievable. It's not doable. There are no exemptions from it. It's going to happen to you.
Get up, change your position. And listen, if you can't stand up, look up. Just change your position. Start writing as though you're already up. Start planning as though you're already up. Start acting as though you're already up. Get up in your believing. Get up in your hopes. Get up in your aspirations.
A person's strengths are often their biggest weaknesses. And so that also means that their weaknesses can be their strengths.
We all have things that we're believing for. A dream to come to pass, problems to turn around. At one time, we knew it was going to happen. We stood in faith, but when it's been a long time, we don't see anything improving. It's easy to get discouraged and think that it wasn't meant to be. The delays, the detours, the disappointments didn't stop God's plan. What He started in your life, He's going to finish.
Start doing everything that you can, because remember, the areas of your focus are the areas of your reward, and the areas of your neglect are the areas of your pain. It's necessary you take responsibility for it, that you make it happen, that you don't give up, that you keep on keeping on, that you don't decide that I can't make it because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, that you realize that's a part of the program. And here's something you've got to resolve. Say this to yourself every day. See, as long as you're breathing, you got to shout at your dream. That's the way I resolve. Say this, please. It's not over until I win. You've got that right.
There are times in life when conflicts and trouble arise. How we deal with these conflicts and how we deal with these troubles reveals more about our character than we want to admit. Because what you are when the pressure is on is what you really are.
You must determine whether the situation and the people call for disassociation or limited association. But remember, if it isn't taking you where you want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, now is the time to fix it.
Write this down. If you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room. You want to get around the right people. You want to be in a room with people that you can learn from, that you can grow from, people that enhance you, people that inspire you, people that lift you, people that bring out the greatness in you. During this time, you want to be around people who compliment you, people who empower you.
Because many of you are going, God, just stop the pain. God, just stop the trial. God, just stop the tribulations. God, just get rid of the pain. And I'm not making light out of your pain. I'm not sitting up here calling you immature or calling you weak. I'm just saying, what if there's a better prayer? What if the better prayer is, God, make me stronger. God, make me bigger. God, build my capacity. I want to be capable to carry everything that you have for me.
You've got to weigh before you pay. Whether you're going to spend heavy time or light time, you've just got to weigh. Otherwise, if you're not careful, you can get trapped into spending heavyweight time with lightweight people. Now, it's okay to have casual friends as long as you give them casual time, not serious time. Spend major time with major influence and minor time with minor influence. So maybe all you need to do to change some of the influences in your life is not to eliminate them, but merely limit them. Take a look at your priorities and your values. We have so little time at our disposal. Wouldn't it make sense to invest it wisely?
Some days I win. Some days I don't. But each and every day, I get back up and I move forward with my fist clenched toward the struggle. And I fight with everything I've got to overcome those weaknesses and those shortfalls and those flaws as I strive to be just a little bit better today than I was yesterday.
We have to learn patience. Patience is a virtue. Patience is the ability to wait with the right attitude. Because you're gonna wait one way or another. The question is, will you be patient while you wait? And will you choose the right spirit in all seasons?
Anything worthwhile in your life, you're gonna have to fight for it. You're gonna have to fight for it. This next year, if you wanna be in good health, you're not just gonna wake up one morning with a six-pack. If you want good health, you wanna feel better, you're gonna have to fight for your health. And so there's always the battle between, is this the best use of my time, or is this just something that's okay to do?
I want you to get some determination. I want you to put your shoulders back. I want you to put your feet down. I want you to understand that you can't choose what happens to you in life, but you always get to choose how you respond to what happens to you in life. I'm telling you, life is 10% what happens. It's really 90% how you react. You need to predetermine now your reactions, because it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Storms will come.
You know, when you're trying to grow yourself, when you're trying to stretch yourself, improve yourself, there's always one thing you can guarantee yourself, and that's that an obstacle is going to show up. Some challenge is going to show up, and when it pops up, it's going to start talking to you. It's going to tell you stuff like, you're not good enough, you don't belong here. What are you thinking about? Get out of here. You see, what I'm saying to you is that there's something else in you. There's a version of you that already has everything you want, everything you need. There's a version of you that can pick yourself up, get out there and live again. You just have to discover your override.
The enemy works overtime trying to devalue us. He'd love for you to go through life letting what people say make you feel inferior, comparing your life to somebody else's, thinking you'll feel good about yourself when you catch up to them. But nothing you do will make you any more valuable. Nothing you achieve, nothing you overcome. You are valuable right now. You are one of a kind. You didn't come off an assembly line. God made you unique. There will never be another you. Put your shoulders back. Start carrying yourself with confidence. You have been fearfully and wonderfully made.
As long as there's people, there's going to be conflict, disagreements, contention, dissension. Family reunions would be really nice if you didn't have to deal with your family. But everywhere there's people, there's going to be strife. There's going to be conflict. There's going to be trouble, because that's just the way it is.
So many people give up and quit because they have a dream planted by God in their heart, but then comes the nightmare. And never does God plant that in your heart with that dream that the enemy doesn't come with his nightmare. And unless you can endure, hell's nightmare, you'll never experience heaven's dream for your life.
If you can teach people to stand up in the face of the things they're afraid of, they get stronger. And you don't know what the upper limits to that are, because you might ask yourself, like, if for 10 years, if you didn't avoid doing what you knew you needed to do, what would you be like? Well, you know, there are remarkable people who come into the world from time to time, and there are people who do find out over decades-long periods what they could be like if they were who they were, if they spoke their being forward. And they get stronger and stronger and stronger, and we don't know the limits to that. We do not know the limits to that.
What you believe will dictate your thoughts on a moment-by-moment basis. So if you believe that, money's hard to make, as a simple example, you're not going to have ideas or thoughts around money that would be lending to making it easily, right? And so your beliefs dictate your thoughts, dictate your emotions, dictate your actions, which produce your results. And your results, when you look at them, then just reinforce the original belief. And so we're caught in that construct, right? But the linchpin is the belief system.
When change is involved, somehow we get into this thing where we're kind of waiting for somebody else to do it. We're waiting on someone else to arrive. I mean, we've got to stop that. We got to stop waiting for someone to change before you change. You got to stop waiting for somebody to help you change.
And so if your life isn't everything it could be, you could ask yourself, well, what would happen if you just stopped wasting the opportunities that are in front of you? You'd be who knows how much more efficient, 10 times more efficient, 20 times more efficient. You have no idea how efficient people get. Well, and if we all got our act together collectively and stopped making things worse, because that's another thing people do all the time, if people stopped really, really trying just to make things worse, we have no idea how much better they would get just because of that.